Hi, this is Wendy. Welcome to my channel. In a previous video, I showed you how to create a single crochet back loop only ribbing and a strategy for attaching it to the edge of a garment as you're working. So for example, if this were the edge of a hexagon cardigan, the front edge, and I wanted to add a ribbed finish to it, I could do that by attaching it as I go up the cardigan. But what if I wanted to add buttons? In this video, I'm going to show you quickly how to create buttonholes in a ribbed button band when you're crocheting as you go and fastening as you go. So let's again imagine this is the edge of my cardigan and I want to add some evenly spaced buttons, and I've determined how far apart they need to be to get the number of buttons I want. So if I had, a 10-inch edge up to where it separates for the V-neck and I wanted 4 buttons, I would divide that and come up with the amount of space I need between each button. And then I would attach some stitch markers where I would like those buttons to go. Okay, so let's say I want my buttonholes there and there. So when I get to this point of attaching my ribbing, I know I want the next row to include a buttonhole. And just to recap from last time, to attach the ribbing as you go, put your hook through the work, pick up that turning chain and pull it through. And that just hooks it around the edge of the piece that you're working. To make the buttonhole, again, I'm going to work in the back loop only and single crochet the first 2. There are 7 stitches in this band. I'm going to skip the next 3 and do a chain 3. Then I will single crochet in the last 2. So this row has 2 single crochets in the back loop, 3 chains, and 2 more single crochets in the back loop, and this space will become the buttonhole. You could also do a chain 2 or a chain 1. It totally depends on the size of your buttons. So a chain 3 will fit a fairly large button. Chain 1 and turn, working back toward the body of the piece. Single crochet 2 in the back loop only. That one's a little snug. There we go. Then I'm going to single crochet into the back loop only of these chains. So the side of the chain that's farther away from me, I'm going to put 3 single crochets in there. 2 more in the last 2 single crochets. Chain 1, snug it up a bit, turn around to the front of the work, figure out where I want to fasten to the side of my piece again, put my hook through and pull that through like that to attach the ribbing. I'm going to do a couple more rows until I get to the next point where I've marked a buttonhole and show you again. Okay, so let's say I want to make my buttonhole in the next row. The last time I did one, I started from the inside, I did my stitches, my chains, and went to the outside. It's possible to do it in the other direction as well. So this time, as I'm working back toward the front of the sweater, I'm going to single crochet back loop only in the first 2, chain 3, single crochet back loop only in the last 2 after skipping the 3 single crochets. So you're going to skip the same number of stitches as the number of chains. Go back to the front and pull that stitch through to join it. Going back the other way, it's just like we did before. 2 single crochets in the back loop, 3 single crochets in the back of the chain, and 2 in the last 2 single crochets. Okay, now I probably should have moved that one up a little bit. You can see it needs to be stretched a little bit more. So I would go back and I'd take this row and I'd shift it up a little bit so that it doesn't drop off like this. It stays more straight, but you get the idea. So here's what the buttonhole looks like when I'm adding it in, working on the outward side. And here's what it looks like when I'm adding in, working on the inward side. You can see they look slightly different from each other. You might want to make all of yours the same, or you might want to alternate. It depends somewhat on how far apart your buttonholes need to be and how many ribs are going to be in between them. So there you go, how to add a button band to a cardigan. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe and drop me a comment about other strategies that you would like to learn about in crochet. Have a super day.